And what are some of the charges that Zuma faces today?
Today is not facing the charges. What has happened is that NPA made a decision some time back to say he's going to drop the case against, or the prosecution against President Zuma. And the DA appealed against that, and the appeal was supported by the High Court to say the decision by the then Director of Public Prosecution that he was acting was irrational. So what one has in law, when you have findings against you by a court, if you are not happy, you can appeal to a higher court. And what the president, as well as the NPA, is actually doing is appealing against that finding by a high court. And they are approaching the same high court to say, we would like to appeal against you to grant us the right to, or at least agree with us that another court can come to a different reading or different finding. So that is where the case is. This is simply approaching the High Court to say, we think that the way you have approached this matter, you have erred in a number of points. The NPA argues, among other things, strongly that the decision is going to undermine their independence to make the decisions whether to withdraw or to proceed with prosecuting people. They feel that this is also a force within what they call the judiciary getting into a space that is not theirs. So that is their main argument. On the other side, you have the president's lawyers arguing that the argument that has been presented by the court, especially the argument on rationality or irrationality, itself is questionable. It does not seem to accord with the previous findings. So they are also questioning how the court arrived at that position. So this is really them approaching the court that grant us this right to go and appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal. So if the court refuses, the two parties still have a right to petition the Supreme Court of Appeal, the way they will actually go directly.
And in your professional opinion, what are you expecting to transpire in court today?
I think the court will find it very difficult to agree with both sides, not so much because they may not have a case, but you must remember that here you had three judges who sat. So for them to accept that another court may come to a different conclusion, it would almost suggest that they have not done their work. So they are more likely to want to dismiss the case. I don't see them wanting to agree with both the NPA as well as the president's lawyers.
Please, can you discuss the political ramifications with regards to whether he is granted leave to appeal or whether he is not granted leave to appeal?
There are no political ramifications. This is simply a matter of people exercising remedies that are available to them. Yes, of course, you have those who would like to see the president in the dock, but like the DA who are now protesting outside. But part of it is that we expect them to behave like that because this has been their main agenda in the last 5 years. So they would not give it up so easily. So for them to raise the issue and bring the notion of the charges that the president must face is a trump card, is it's a political weapon that they have. But within the ANC, it has no meaning. It has no implication because the position of the ANC is that the president has a right and the NPA have a right to exercise and to apply the mind and to pursue this matter up to the highest court if it is possible. But at the same time, even if the presidency fails, the president fails, or that the NPA fails in this attempt, it still is up to the NPA to decide whether those charges are still live and material today, whether the case can still be prosecuted successfully. So those are decisions that the NPA would probably have to come down to if it fails. But at the moment, it feels that there are issues that are fundamental to its independence that they feel the court has not paid attention to.
Professor Sipho Seepe, thank you so much for your time and for joining us here on Morning Prime, as well as your professional opinion in this matter. We will look forward to the